when we pray in tongues or generally pray in the spirit, it brings us into the perfect will of God. There are many times you stood up, you would have gone into error, but you have prayed too much to go into error. So while you stood up, you made up your mind to go and err. Forces will be aligned to push you into the right path. You know, and some of you who are here, you know, especially your earlier days, when today you are on fire, tomorrow you are cold. You know, one of the signs of spiritual immaturity is that today you can be on fire, but tomorrow you are very cold. So the guy who was prophesying yesterday, next week you come, he's crying. You say, what happened? You say, Kai, I fell again. I don't know why. Oh God, kill me, Lord, kill me. I'm a disappointment to you. And God is just looking at you and say, baby, grow up. You are a baby. You are a child. That's what it means. Praying in the spirit activates your spirit man. Meanwhile, all the wealth of grace is in your spirit man. But you see, if it is not activated, you cannot walk in dominion. You have all of the dimensions of God locked in your spirit, but it has to be activated for you to walk in dominion. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 14:14, he said, when I pray in the spirit, my spirit is the one praying. So you bring your spirit under spiritual activity. It's like spiritual gymming. It's difficult, but it will flex your spiritual muscles. That's why most of you, when you started praying in the spirit, 5 minutes look like 10 hours. 20 minutes look like 2 years. And in fact, when you finish, after laboring and praying for 30 minutes, you may not go back again for 3 weeks. Because every time you gym, there are pains in your muscles. I went the other time to keep fit. My friend Cecil came and said, I'm rusty. I say, are you sure? He said, come. It's a little exercise. I say, it's okay. We did sit-up. They now bent. The bench was not flat. They bent it. So sit-up, I was supposed to lie on a flat bench and come up. They bent the bench. So when I go down, I will go down by 45 degrees. When I wanted to come up, I now discover my whole back was ache. He said, no, just do 2 sets. What is 2 sets? It's 15 times. I gathered my masculinity. I stretched. When I finished, my back was on fire. I thought that was all. He showed me some other things I did. The next day when I woke up, I tried to carry my leg from the bed. I discovered that my leg had become like a log of wood. I couldn't lift my leg. When I stood up, I was walking. My 80-year-old version was imparted on me. I was walking like this. If I shake any part of my hand, I will feel so much pain. I say, I'm not going there again. I say, no. If you don't go, when you go later, the whole pains will come back. And because I didn't want the pain to come back, I labored after 2 days because he massaged it. After 2 days, I went back. I started again. I've run for the past 3 weeks. That's how tongues is. When you go, halakako, seke. Give people who start this job, they will begin. They will not check. It's 3 minutes. You will now wait and ask yourself, how do they pray in tongues for 5 hours? It's a journey of the spirit. It takes help. Tongues means help me, Lord. Sometimes they even want to impress you. When you check, it's now 12 minutes. You will now see the one whose muscles are developed. You know, there's a way they oppress people in the gym. When you come, the ones that have done it for some time, they will come, they will put a lot of weight and they will use one hand. When they drop it, you will now go and check. You will drop it. When this young one shout, then you see those who have been here for a while, they are still booting. Manda kabak. Zelegombra kavakaste vregadidis. Ragaba. Because it's a marathon. But you see, all of that is very important because it activates your spirit man. So when you see a man stand, he's going somewhere, he stops. He's supposed to take a journey. He has reached the park, but he picked a sign, go home. It's not because he's afraid though. It's not because he doesn't have faith. But today, something is ahead that he can't handle. but there's discernment. The spirit is awake. He said, go home. He will leave the journey and go home. Sometimes he will even be coming. He will hear, stop here, and he will stop. After some time, go. He will go. He will miss the bus by one seat. And when he enters the second bus, although late, but he will find that first bus that went, it would have kept falling over a cliff. When you look at it, you will know that that's your grave. But the difference is that your spirit is awake. You want to enter a business, you have already agreed. The last night, almost all the papers were signed. But you heard the delay. You say, wait, okay, come in the morning. You now went home. You didn't pick well. You still charge. You are activating because the spirit is a picker of frequencies. As you stretch, after a while, you hear, no, don't go forward. The person will call you the next day with excitement. We are going to hammer. We are going to hammer. I say, hi, my brother. Leave that business for another time. He will not understand why you are like this. But God has saved you. You can't pick those frequencies until the spirit is active. The reason many believers are victims is not because the insurance of God is not with them. They don't have activated spirits.